support. That is, they should have the same standard health services for Thai migrant and refugee. But there's still some condition. But and prefer to separate healthcare facility for refugees and all migrants. They want to go to the same unit. I mean that for like the same unit, they have to separate this for migrant, this for Thai. There is, you can see that. I mean, okay, that's good to have the same standard, but we have to separate. There's still some discrimination is there, still discrimination. And they said that, okay, should get the same standard of service provided to the Thai, both the health promotion, prevention, disease diagnosis, treatment services, and rehabilitation service. But say no for non-registered migrant. No for non-registered migrant. But for the registered and for the refugee, it's fine with us, but it's not non-registered migrant. They are also concerned about the national budget on this issue. As I mentioned, yes, you can provide, you can get the service, but you have to pay out of your pocket. You have to use your own pocket. And it should not be the burden of the finance of the country. And the NGO also from the qualitative, they say that the NGO should play a role to help them in terms of the health services, get health services. It's not our government to pay for that. Yes, they should get, but we should not pay. It seems like that. For the issue of the human settlement and the local integration, they do not support the grant of the permanent residence to the refugee. How long they have been in Thailand. Even they stay for 10 years, 30 years, but they still not agree to support the grant of the permanent residence. And also, even that those who are married in Thai, they also disagree. But this one actually, in terms of the law, this is the highest proportion they get the citizenship or the PR from the Thai government through the marriage. And they also say no to permanent residence for the children of refugee and migrant born in Thailand. That's why that that when I conduct one research for the child labor, and about 1/3 of them are stateless. They are stateless person because they born in Thailand and they didn't get any status in Thailand. And also the Myanmar government also not accept them if they born in Thailand. This is a major issue. Joyce, if you remember the last MMC, and after that we have one seminar on the birth certificate for the migrant children. Because before that, it's hard for the migrant to get the birth certificate. Even the delivery in the Thai health facilities, they just got only the document from the hospital, but cannot apply for the birth certificate. And also the migrant, the Myanmar side mentioned that, okay, that document we not accept, not recognized as the birth certificate, just only the document that to guarantee that you born in hospital only. It's not guaranteed. That is by the state, I mean like the Thai government. Even the health facility is a part of the Thai government. And they fight for the migrant to get the birth certificate. But for the birth certificate, it's quite difficult to get as well because the government, I mean that the district office requires many documents, and all the documents that is of the parent and everything have to be translated, and the migrant don't have enough money to pay for the translation. This cause also the problem, and that's quite hard for them to get the birth certificate. It's quite different, that the two documents, the birth certificate and the document from the hospital. It cannot be the same and cannot use instead of each other. And they allow for those who the stateless ethnic minority born in Thailand. As we mentioned on the last day about the Hill tribe people, for example, the Hill tribe people, they will categorize as the stateless ethnic minority in Thailand. This one is the people, the Thai people think, okay, we should support the grant of the Thai citizenship for this group only, not for the refugee or the migrant workers or both registered and not registered. And for the Thai citizenship here, it's quite, I have to say that, precarity, right? Because they can revoke anytime, because it happened in Chiang Mai when they grant the Thai citizenship to the ethnic minority there for some years, and then they think that is this group of the ethnic minority will be a threat for the national security, and then they revoke all the ID card from those ethnic minority, and they have to fight again. I'm not sure that whether right now they got it back or not, because the case still sending to the court. But for among the 4 border provinces, for the most question, we don't see the much different among the 4 provinces, but just only that is TAC respondent seems to have a more negative view than others. And this one, because if you're looking at the camps located in TAC, it's quite a big number of refugees stay in TAC province. I didn't sum it up that how many of them, how many percent is staying in TAC, because in TAC they have the 5 camps, and as we mentioned about fear of unknown and fear of number, is quite a big number there in TAC. And the local context of the TAC, as I mentioned, that is because of the number of the refugees in TAC is quite a big number when compared to other provinces.
Not because of Muslim population?
No, because I think that is just only if we're looking at the Nuko, it's not that much number of Muslim, but they also afraid of Muslim.
The southern part, right?
Yeah, but also in the northern as well, because I remember that once I did interview the MSF while I was doing the interview and conducting the interview. There is that the Muslim by the Myanmar migrant worker in the jungle, they set up the community, and then the authority rushed to that area to arrest them immediately, just only 1 or 2 nights. But when I asked the respondent, and they mentioned that because that is the Muslim community, that also they have some negative, that with the Muslim community in the area as well.
Isn't the battle between Myanmar government and the current rebels has stopped, right? The truce, right, has reached several years ago.
Yes, but
the government
they don't want to take the refugee back because as I mentioned at the beginning that is around that is 100,000 to 150,000. There is the very number of the population camp, but when Zuji came to the power, they hoped that they would get back to Myanmar, but they're still there. Most are around 80% of them still there. But I need to follow up again. That is, where are they? Because some of them, I know that some of them were sent to the third country, and some of them also escaped from the camp for being the migrant worker. Especially why the Thai government, that opened the center for registration. Because in Thailand, that before we have a problem with the registration process for the migrant workers, because they have to spend several days, and both the employer and the workers complain because they have to leave their job and to go to one or 2 days for the physical examination, 1 day to go to the labor office, or 2 days for the labor office, and also they have to do this and that, and those cannot be finished on 1 day. And just the last few years, they have the one-stop service. Everything can finish at the same place. That the hospital or the public, the Ministry of Public Health, Ministry of Interior, Ministry of Defense, Ministry of Labor, they set up the center and working together, and then the employer and the worker can go to the one place to complete all the process. It helped very much for that one. Because for this one, when we start conducting the research on this issue, we give the recommend, that to enforce the government to do this and to reinforce again with the new research or the new project, and then finally we got the one-stop service. That is good for the migrant.
How many is kind of one-stop service in Thailand?
How many?
Yeah, this kind of one-stop service.
For the province that is have the concentration of the migrant worker, they have one-stop service like in Samut Sakhon, in Bangkok, in Chiang Mai, in Mae Hong Son, in Tak. There is I could not remember more than 40. I think that because at the first period they have about 20, and then they extend to another province at about 40 something. I'm not sure about the number, you can see.
Okay.
But anyway, they extend to another province as well. When they began with 20 something, 22, and also they have like for the fishing worker as well. They have like along the coast, the province along the coast. They also have that center, because for the fishery it's quite hard for them to travel to other places.
So after that, the number of non-registered migrant workers decay?
It's not decay, that since the short period of time for the contract, 2 years, and you think that if they can get the renewal, they cannot renew the contract 2 years, in next 2 years, and then they became the illegal again. Is it like the cycle like this?
Temporary legal.
Yeah. That's why I said that, because just only too short, 2 years, and then you become the legal for 2 years, and then you back to be the illegal again, because there is no document. And the people, and also we have a problem with the work permit, just only 1 year. No. The work permit 1 year before and renew every year. And we conduct the research, and we said, if the contract is 2 years, you should give the 2 years work permit. It's not just only 1 year. And then that finally got the 2 year for the work permit. Finally we get. And for the health card, the health insurance. We ask for cover belong to it depending on the work permit. If the work permit 2 years, the health insurance should be 2 years as well. But no, the Ministry of Public Health disagree with this. Why? They said that because this is also the perception, because the migrant workers can be carriers of the major diseases, important like the TB, the tuberculosis, and also another infectious diseases. This is the perception of the Ministry of Labor, the public health. And now that we succeed in some way, I think because we suggest the Ministry of Public Health to have the health insurance for the temporary worker, the circular migrant worker, like if they work for 3 months or 6 months, and the Ministry of Public Health should, that sell the health card for them as well to cover like the health insurance. And now they have the category for 6 months and 3 months health insurance.
So that means that they can work in the neighborhood, right?
Yeah.
If they get a work permit, but they have to live in their own camp, or they can live elsewhere.
They have to, if you just only, the boundary is just only the province. The boundary is the province.
Okay.
If you register in Bangkok, you're not allowed to go out of Bangkok. You can travel just, yeah. If you want to go out, if you want to go to another province, you need to get the permission from the authority. That is, you have the document with you, and then you can go to another province.
But except